Hello, everyone. I wanted to spend a little time with you guys tonight. I just came back from, I had to go to the mall and get this computer looked at. It's been acting up. And so I had to take it to the Apple store. And so I figured I would try to spend some time with my best friend before she had to go into the club that she owns and work tonight. And so I dropped her off and I just headed back here. And it was interesting because I did a lot of thinking. I had to drive to the mall yesterday. It's about a good, you know, 35-40 minute ride from my house. And I had to drive there yesterday and drop the computer off to them to the Apple store and then come back. You're going to hear a lot of noise in the background because the cats are downstairs playing with their toys and the paper bag that I just gave them to jump in and out of. So you're going to hear a lot of noise. um, they're so happy I'm home. So anyway, I was driving there and I was doing a lot of thinking and I was driving back. I drove back out there today, drove back home, and I was thinking I was talking about this in session to a few different people this week, and I thought that I would share it with all of you. Just how much you are going to change in years' time, especially people that want to change, uh, are looking to grow. And a lot of times I feel like people don't know that they're doing that or that they're about to do that. Guys, 3 years ago, I was not the same person that I am now. I would even go as far as to say I'm not even the same person I was a year ago. And I really mean that when I tell you guys that you're going to change and you're going to grow and you're going to develop and you're going to have even more wisdom and knowledge than you had. And just when you think you know things, you're you're going to know a lot more. I mean, if you would have told me 3 years ago I would be home on a Saturday night reading the Bible and you know, have no interest whatsoever in going out and sitting at bars and meeting the same dodo brains. uh I know I think even as far as 3 years ago, I was still having some identity issues. And for the longest time, I mean, I identified with being a musician and being on stage and, being very outgoing. And what I didn't realize about myself is there's a there's a lot of me that is introverted. And I think I never realized that about myself before because I just threw myself into this extroverted kind of person. And everybody since I was a kid is like, dance for me, play for me. And that was, there's nothing wrong with that I you know entertained people and still looked. There's other avenues I can do that with. And it's funny, you guys, I almost very recently joined a band again. But this would have been different because this would have been a straight up cover band. And I said to myself, that would be a nice little balance for me. I could do that. I could I could do something like that and be good, be good money. And, the schedule's already set forth. It's not like I have to do all the booking and running around. But I have to tell you guys, God was very, very clear with me. It was very clear. No, you're not going to do that. And it's like before I even went to audition, I was getting the no, you're not going to do that. We're done with that. You did that from 14 years old till, you know, 38 years old. You did that. We're not doing that. And I don't know if that's just right now, but it was very clear on my spirit. Like we're not doing that. I think it'd be one thing if I had some type of a project, but it wasn't every single weekend like this gig would have been. And yeah, it was pretty distinctively clear that, no. And I thought about it, you guys. I thought about uh all the years of that and who I met in those years and what that brought me. And there's so much fun to playing rock and roll, and there's a lot of good things that come out of that. I'm not going to say there aren't, but there's a lot of rebellion. And that's like the word that I just kept thinking about on my drive home today. And it seemed to have been the theme this week in sessions: rebellion. I think there is a part of all of us that at some point was very rebellious, uh, going against the grain, making our own laws and rules for ourselves. Uh, rebellion with yourself, like, yeah, I'm going to get up there. I'm going to play I'm going to play as hard as possible. Going to have some whiskey shots. Yeah. And then what good's going to come out of that? Like nothing good, you know. And it's all part of it. It's all connected. It just is. Like I can't deny it. It's like the rock and roll, the lust, the whiskey shots, the rebellion. Yeah. Waking up laughing about it. And it's like really it was like I was on a loop. My life was on this forever loop, meeting the same guy over and over and over again, doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting some kind of different result. And could I have kept doing that and found the good in it and went with the parts over here that were good? Sure, I could have continued to identify with that girl, that woman now. That's she's a rock and roller for life. And I thought to myself, wow, it felt really good. I have to tell you guys this. It felt really, really good to use my brain the last 6 years to make a living. There's more parts of me, that just consist more, and my talents aren't just singing and playing bass and playing keys and playing the drums and being in a band and being on stage and all the years of professional dance I did. And there's much more to me than that. That's a part of me. And so anyways, the point I'm trying to make as I was thinking about all this stuff on the drive home today is that you guys are going to change. And that's a really great thing. And you're going to look back at the person you were even a year ago and 3 years ago and be like, "Wow, I thought I knew a lot of things, but I was still learning quite a bit, wasn't I? I was still trying to hold on to parts of me that needed to die." In terms, I'm especially talking about rebellion. And I want you guys to really think about how much you rebel with yourself. It's a self-sabotaging, self-destructive behavior that the world, the earthly world, the fleshly world has taught us is okay. It's okay to go against the grain. That's funny. That's, you're a badass, and all the words, and, you're a rebel, and people identify with that. And next thing you know, they're 60 years old doing the same stuff they were doing when they were 22. And I just look, I'm not judging anybody. All I'm trying to say is this. All I'm trying to say is this. Watch the areas of your life that you are very rebellious with. I mean, I think the human is going to always at some point try and find something else. Uh, I put down the drinking and then it was the food, and I've really had that strong realization that I'm going on 3 months now on this protocol. I've lost 20 pounds. And I'm just realizing, like, we are so prone to go to doing that rebellious thing and hanging around with the narcissist or any narcissist in your life is absolute rebellion. It's a rebellion of, to yourself and of that spirit. It's a very rebellious spirit. You guys out there right now listening to this, if you got this far in this video, you're putzing around with the devil. Let me just tell you. And a lot of people get this is a misconception that many of you have, that, oh, I'm going to be the influence on the narcissist. I feel sorry for the narcissist. I got a good head on my shoulders, so I can influence them to stop their self, their exploitive behaviors and their rebellious behaviors. And guys, no. See, that's how the devil's tricked you. You are the one rebelling against your own spirit when you are having any dealings with the devil. And trust me when I tell you this, if you guys can start to really see it this way, which is the way it is, this is the only way it is. This is exactly, the devil tricks you to making you think that these things are good. And they're not. You are dancing with the devil. You are entertaining the devil and you are playing around in the devil's world. When you see that somebody is extremely rebellious in their spirit by their self-sabotaging, there we go, that's the word, very self-sabotaging behaviors. And you're seeing that, mark my words, it's going to have an effect on you. And most of these people that are, we want to call toxic people, they're toxic because they're self-sabotaging. They're rebellious. Okay? They want to go around creating their own laws and rules when it's already been written. It's already been written. I'll do this topic another point, another time, but to bring up this topic right now, A lot of people out there want to give us Christians crap about being a Christian when they don't realize why, okay? And I'm talking about the real Christians here. I'm not talking about the fake ones. I'm not talking about these fake narcissistic devils hiding behind the word Christian. I'm talking about the real ones that, you know, seek to be better and have a better relationship with Christ and know their faults and work on it and all this to say. But, how do you people that look at us Christians like we are the bunch of weirdos and kooks, how do you not understand that we didn't all just necessarily even desire to be here or were looking to be here or even maybe wanted to be here? Did you ever stop and think that enough stuff has happened to us for us to smarten up, wake up, look around and realize, wow, there is something looking out for me. There is someone's listening to me. Or then again, all the dealings we've had with the devil and we've saw those demonic encounters. You don't think that we didn't sit and think about that before we came back to identify as being a follower of Christ? You don't think that we didn't think long and hard about that? That enough stuff probably didn't happen to us in our lives for us to come back to that point? I know many of us, that's what it is. We didn't just wake up one day and just say, "Okay, we just blindsidely follow the Bible because that's what our ancestors did. That's what our relative that's what, my family did. So that's what I do." Do you think that we are all monkey see and monkey doers? Don't you think there is something to this? I thought a lot about that today too. You know, it's hard to be a believer in today's world because you will be different. But now I'm going to be 43 in a few weeks here. Now I am proud to be different. I'm not uncomfortable by it. I'm not even slightly trying to fight it. I am not even slightly trying to hide it. I am proud to say that I know Christ and that I was given a second chance in life. More than that, more than a second chance, but more or less, I was given the opportunity to truly open up my eyes and take a good hard look at what's going on around me. And I am so happy for that. I am so happy that I get it. And good for me for getting it and for seeing it and for doing something about it, and not just keeping this information to myself and kind of wondering what people think of me. Oh gosh, people are going to think I'm a Bible thumper, like, yeah, you know, you're right. I am you know, that connotation is we know is a negative one, but you know what I'm trying to get at. I didn't just get here from being some kind of blinded fool. Well, I got to open my Bible because that's what my meme taught me. I mean, no, I watched that woman go through things I wouldn't wish upon anyone and turn out the way she did. And that's just one example of what I've seen in life. So all this to say, I hope I've gotten some of you to think about your rebellious spirit and how you can change that. And you don't have to fight with yourself anymore. You don't have to have any parts of you that you don't like and that I mean, I'm saying stop going around and hating on yourself. I realized I was doing that. And yeah, I absolutely was doing that. We're not perfect and you know, you might slip up from time to time, but you will know that you have changed when you think back to the person you were just a few years ago and you're like, "Wow, I still had a lot of changing to do." So, I hope this reaches your spirit tonight. If you have any questions about things that have gone on in your life that you just don't understand and it feels much bigger than psychology, I want you to know that it is much bigger than psychology. And I'd love to be able to help you and walk you through that. Uh, you can always reach out to me. All of my information is always under the drop down menu of my videos. And I'd love to try to help you if I can. And thank you very much to all of you that donate to this channel. It helps me more than you will ever know. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And for all of you that are just here and have been here and are on the same page with me. Thank you, Jesus, for showing me I'm not alone here and that we've got people that we're on the same playing field here. We're we're making sense of all this stuff, even the stuff that doesn't seem to make much sense, right? We know what it is. The devil is always, remember this, the devil is always going to try and be on your back. He's always going to try to get behind you and ride you and get you for something. But see, all you have to do is just look back at him because remember, he's behind you. Okay? Get behind me, Satan. He's behind you. And you control where you're going. You're in the driver's seat. Okay, he's just trying to hitch a ride in the back there. And as he thinks, he's laughing because he thinks he can still control you. Remember who's going to have the last laugh. It's always going to be you. We've already won this battle. And Jesus has taught us that from the beginning. So you laugh right back in the devil's face. You laugh because you know what he's doing. You know how he does it. He's shown you a gazillion times how he does it. He's very strategic, but you're very smart and you understand how he operates. And once you understand how the enemy operates, you're set and you're good to go. You don't need to be afraid about that. We've already won. There's nothing to fear. He's going to fear you now because he can't get to you the ways he used to. And he knows it. Let him go find, a weaker vessel because it's not going to be you. We're going to get so smart, you guys, that like I said, all he's going to have is other narcissists to sit and play around with. And it's very clear. Well, anyway, it's about 11:15 here on a Saturday night. Me and Miles are going to sign out and think about shutting the lights and going to bed. And I love you all very much. And I'll be back with some more thoughts. More than thoughts, I'm going to give you some more concrete facts around the things that we need to be educated on and learn that has to do with all that's good and all that's evil on this channel. I'm Trace Face, and as always, it's time that we face the truth together. Good night.